Go ahead and hit that subscribe button, get notifications, and most definitely smash that like button. Comments are always appreciated. Enjoy the show.
Hey everybody, El Cheapo Deluxe here. How y'all doing today? I hope everybody's doing great. I'm doing fine myself, thanks for asking. Hey, bet you're wondering why I'm wearing this pirate shirt. It's not because I'm a pirate. I can see that some of you thought I was, but nah, I'm not. We'll be drinking some rum here in a few months though, because we're planning our vacation and we're taking a cruise to the Bahamas. So that's the one I want to talk about. I want to talk about how we plan our vacation, how we choose our destination, what it goes through to put together one of my budget vacations. I do pretty good, I think, planning a vacation. You can excuse me, I got some notes here because it keeps me from talking in circles, which I'm probably going to do anyway. Don't shut it off if I start doing that. Just bear with me a little bit. So, like I said, I want to talk to you about how we decide on where we go and what we're going to do. Let me give you a little backstory first. We have been on a cruise before. We went in 2019 on a Caribbean cruise. It wasn't so enjoyable. It wasn't a bad cruise. It was no fault of the cruise lines whatsoever. We went in December. It's just a bad week of weather, which we all know we can't control the weather. So it was rainy, it was windy, it's chilly, cold at times. So it just made it for a rough cruise. And when we got done with that, we decided, hey, check that off our bucket list. We got that out of the way. So let's get back to our vacations we like, which are all-inclusive vacations. We like the all-inclusive resorts because you know what? We're on our time. Nobody can dictate what time we got to be somewhere or what time we got to do something. We like to go off resort and spend some time in town, and we can stay out as late as we want. If we stay out till midnight partying with the locals, they're not going to lock us out of the resort. To where on a cruise ship, you get off in port and you go hang out in town, have a few drinky drinks. You may forget what time you're supposed to be back at the ship. You may think you got plenty of time, but you know what? You're going to get back to the ship and it's going to be sailing away. Then you have people up on the top deck looking down at you laughing. I've seen it before, not in person, but there's YouTube videos out there. Take a look at them. Watch the pier runners. I feel bad for those people, I really do, because they get left behind or almost left behind, and everybody just gives them hell. But it's hilarious. So don't be a pier runner. With that being said, I'm going to try not to be one this time. So anyway, that's our cruise story. We like the all-inclusives because everything's included. We know exactly what we're getting before we go. With cruises, you got a cruise fare. Then there's a lot of extras they add on. A lot of people say they're hidden charges. They're not. They're there. You just got to pay attention to what you're going to be charged for certain things. So they're not hidden charges. They're not trying to trick you. They just want to make more money from you. So anyway, we're giving cruises a second chance, and this is how we decided to. Like I said, we watch YouTube's videos. We watched a young lady's video the other night. She was taking a Margaritaville at Sea cruise from Palm Beach to Freeport, Bahamas. Mainly she was doing it because of the $49 cruise fare. Well, that's still not the true price. You got port fees, you got taxes that are included in that, so it's probably closer to $300 for the initial price. That's before you start adding the extras. Anyway, she had read some bad reviews or not so good reviews about the cruise, and she decided she was going to go on the cruise and check it out for herself. And she did. She had a great time. It looked like she did anyway. I didn't see her have anything bad to say about the cruise. There were some things that the bigger cruise ships have that this one doesn't, but we're going in October. I don't need a big cruise ship because there's not going to be a ton of people on there, I wouldn't think, because it's off season. So anyway, she had a nice cruise. The only thing, she went to Freeport, which it didn't look like there's anything for Freeport for us, in Freeport for us. So we looked at, we're going to take the same ship, just a different time. We're going to go to Nassau because it looked like there's more there for us. So that's what we're going to do. Nassau, Bahama, we're taking a 3-night, 4-day cruise. Why they call it a 4-day cruise, I have no idea, because the 4th day, you're getting kicked off the ship at 7 o'clock in the morning, and they're saying, see ya, hope you come back. So that's not 4 days. That's 3 days, 3 nights. It's not hidden. You know it. Anyway, so how are we getting to the cruise ship? Well, we live in southern Louisiana. Cruise ship takes off out of Palm Beach, Florida. Obviously, we're going to fly, right? Yep, I ain't walking. So we just had to decide, after we decided the date of the cruise, our cruise Friday to Monday, so that's a weekend. So we had to look at a Thursday flight so we can get there the day before. So we decided if we're going to fly out of our regional airport here or drive an hour and a half to New Orleans. Our regional airport here has got 3 airlines. It's got Delta, United, and American, which are all fine airlines. Don't have anything against any of them. We just prefer Southwest Airlines. So we decided we're just going to go ahead and drive to New Orleans. Either way, we got to pay for parking in an airport, and they're both the same price, so that doesn't matter to us. Southwest Airlines, because for the fact 2 check bags fly free for each person. Get a free carry-on, free personal item. Most airlines don't even give you a free carry-on, and that's kind of, I'm not going to say it's, yeah, I'm going to say that's wrong. They should at least you have a carry-on for free instead of, and then they charge you $30, $40 for a check bag, and I think like almost $100 for the second check bag if you're going on a long trip. That's not right. Anyway, done with that. So we're driving to New Orleans. We're going to fly out of there. And because we're flying and our cruise is on a weekend, we decided, well, maybe after our cruise, we're going to spend a couple days in Palm Beach. So we started looking at what there was to do in Palm Beach. We decided we'd like to hang out for a couple days after the cruise. So, oh, this is another reason why we chose Southwest. We had some credits. So we get like $150 a piece off of our flight because I think at one time a flight was overbooked and they just put us on a different flight, but they gave us $150 in credits. So our actual cost on the round trip flight from New Orleans to Palm Beach is like right at $300 total for 2 people, which is, that's a bargain. El Cheapo Deluxe likes that. So, okay. So then we got to get a hotel the first night, right? So I got on Expedia. I'm looking for something cheap. Not cheap. I ain't that cheap. Something decent. Really just needed a place to lay our head for a night because we got a big day the next day. I was hoping to find a place with like free breakfast or something, but I didn't spend enough time looking. So what I found was the Marriott. It was in our price range. It was within our budget. So I went ahead and reserved it because it was only 8 minutes from the airport. A couple days later, I started thinking about it. I said, man, I bet I could find a better hotel than that. So I spent a little bit more time looking. And, you know, I did. It's not a better hotel. It's Holiday Inn Express. It's a nice hotel. Holiday Inn Expresses are nice, but they give you that free breakfast. It was about $30 cheaper. A couple more miles away from the airport, but that's closer to port. So we decided to get that. But now that we're going to stay an extra couple days, I got to get a rental car. So we're flying in Thursday, getting a rental car at the airport. Going to spend the night at the Holiday Inn Express, drive to port to get on our ship, and park the car there for 4 days. I know it sounds silly to rent a car and then park it for 4 days, but I'm just trying to avoid the hassle of having to go get transportation to the port, then transportation from the port back to the airport to get a rental car to drive back to where we're going to stay in Palm Beach. So it's $20 a day for parking, $80. Yeah, we'll just get it done and have the convenience of having a car right there when we get off the ship. I haven't booked the hotel yet for when we get back. I've got one in mind, but I just want to keep an eye on the prices on it, because it's not one that I can cancel, because that's what I do with hotels. I'll don't prepay them, just reserve them. That way, if I find something cheaper that I might like better, I can book that or reserve it, cancel the previous one. Same way with my rental car. I don't prepay my rental car till I get there. Or I don't prepay my rental car. I pay it when I get there to pick it up. That way, because rental car prices, they're up and down almost daily. So I watch those, I'm not going to say religiously, but about once a week I'll check. And, if I see the price drops, I'll reserve the car again and cancel the previous reservation. You can do that all the way up to like 24 hours before you pick up the vehicle. I wouldn't suggest trying it 24 hours, about a week. You can still be looking at them. That's what I would do. Anyway, so that's all I want to talk about today. Like I said, there may be 3-4 parts to this. My plans are going to change. We're going to do some different things. I want to decide exactly what we're going to do in port. I don't think we're going to do any excursions. I think we're just going to do some walking around, enjoy the local culture, have a few local drinks, eat the local food, go to the local beach. There's a few things there I want to see that wouldn't be excursion worthy because they're walking distance. Anyway, I'll check back with you here in a few weeks after we made some more plans. Just keep an eye out for our videos. I appreciate you watching this far. Hopefully, we can help you out on this. I don't know if I told you about your best friend's going to be on planning a trip. Excel spreadsheet right there. That's how I budget my stuff. I make lists. In fact, I get made fun of because all the lists I make. Oh, put it on your list. Put that on your list. Put that on your other list. I have about 5 lists. What to pack, what we're going to do, an itinerary list. The budget list is the biggest one. That's the one that I can move around, adjust, to fit my budget. I like to know exactly what I'm spending before I go, but I'll get more into that next video. Like I said, hey, thanks for watching. Appreciate y'all. Like, share, subscribe and hit notifications. That's the way you know when this next video is coming out, that maybe you might learn something or whatever. But if you have any questions and something you want me to answer, put it in the comments for this video. I may not have the answer right now, but I'm gonna look it up and get you that answer, because it may be a question that I have too, and just haven't thought of yet. So like, share, subscribe. Y'all have a great day. Thanks for watching. See you next time.